Tonight on Mello TV Sports, 4 reggae boys will stay in Saudi Arabia due to testing positive for COVID-19. Christopher Henry Gale pulls out of the Lankan Premier League, and Klay Thompson out for the season due to an injury. We kick off Mello TV Sports with football, as 4 members of Jamaica's Reggae Boys squad to Saudi Arabia have been forced to remain in that country after testing positive for COVID-19. The players will have to complete their quarantine process before leaving the country. The delegation to Riyadh was hit with 4 COVID-19 positive results, with JFF General Secretary Dalton Wint and Assistant Coach Jerome Waite among those positives. Both have, however, subsequently tested negative. One player returned a positive test upon leaving Jamaica and was quarantined in England. The Reggae Boys beat Saudi Arabia 2-1 on Tuesday after losing the first game 3-0 on Saturday. Regional football governing body CONCACAF has cancelled its women's under-17 qualifiers following FIFA's decision to cancel the under-17 Women's World Cup. Following FIFA's communication that it has cancelled the FIFA event, the Under-17 Women's World Cup was originally scheduled to take place in India in 2020. CONCACAF has decided that the regional qualifiers for this event will not take place. The 2020 FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup, originally scheduled to be played this year in Costa Rica and Panama, will also not go ahead. FIFA has decided to award Costa Rica the 2022 edition. Following FIFA's decision to reschedule the Club World Cup Qatar 2020 to February 1 to 11, 2021, CONCACAF has announced that the winner of its centralized 2020 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League will represent the Confederation in the International Club Tournament. The final rounds of the SCCL will be played in Orlando, Florida from December 15 to 22. FIFA is to introduce new regulations to protect the rights of women players, including mandatory maternity leave. The reform have been put forward by FIFA's Football Stakeholders Committee and will go to FIFA's Council next month for approval. While many players in Europe are already protected by employment law in their given countries, FIFA says its aim is to create new global minimum standards for female players all around the world, given the rapid emergence of new clubs and leagues globally. The proposed rule include a mandatory maternity leave of 14 weeks at a minimum of 2/3 of players' contracted salary, and a guarantee that no female player should suffer a disadvantage as a result of becoming pregnant. The planned regulations also state that on their return to work after maternity leave, clubs must reintegrate female players and provide adequate medical, physical support as well. Over to cricket news now. 10 West Indies players and support staff, including T20 captain Kieran Pollard, cleared the second of 3 COVID-19 tests in New Zealand today. The tests were conducted specifically for the IPL contingent that had arrived from the United Arab Emirates on November 14. That group is currently undergoing managed isolation and will take one more test next week, after clearing which they can join the rest of their teammates in the bio bubble on November 26. This will leave many of the players in the T20 squad with potentially just one training session ahead of their series opener on November 27 in Auckland. Jamaica and West Indies opener Christopher Henry Gale has pulled out of the Lankan Premier League. Gale has told the Candy Tuskers franchise that he will not be travelling to Sri Lanka on account of an injury. Lasith Malinga, Sri Lanka's most recognizable T20 player, has also pulled out a week from the tournament start date, citing inadequate preparation time. The arrival of Jamaican Andre Russell this week, however, will ensure that the tournament will have at least one global star. Also withdrawing from the tournament this week is Ravi Bopara, who had been drafted late into the Jaffna Stallions franchise, but has now confirmed that the franchise he will not play for. The first match of the LPL is scheduled to be played on November 26. The tournament is set to be played at the Shori Yaiwa Stadium in that entirety and is set to run until December 16. On to tennis news now. Russian debutant Andrei Rublev today earned his first ATP Finals victory in a dead rubber against Austrian third seed Dominic Thiem, who has already assured his place in the semifinals. US Open champion Thiem could not recover from a slow start as Rublev won 6-2, 7-5 at the O2 Arena in London, England. Thiem reached the Final Four by defeating Stefanos Tsitsipas and Rafael Nadal. Tsitsipas and Nadal meet in a straight fight for the other spot from Group London 2020 later today. Whoever wins between the Spaniard second seed Nadal and Greece's defending champion Tsitsipas will progress alongside Dominic Thiem. Nadal is bidding for a first ATP Finals title, while 23-year-old Tsitsipas is aiming to become the first player to win back-to-back singles titles since Novak Djokovic in 2015. Thiem will find out tomorrow if he plays Serbia's world number one Novak Djokovic or Germany's 2018 champion Alexander Zverev in Saturday's semi-final. Nadal or Tsitsipas know their opponent will be Russian fourth seed Daniil Medvedev, who clinched top spot in Group Tokyo 1970 by beating Novak Djokovic yesterday. We go over to basketball news now. Golden State Warriors star guard Klay Thompson has a torn right Achilles and will miss the entirety of the 2020-2021 season. This will be the second consecutive lost season for Thompson, who tore his left anterior cruciate ligament in the NBA Finals against the Toronto Raptors in June of last year and has not played since. With Thompson out and Stephen Curry down with a broken hand for most of the season, Golden State went from Western Conference champions to a league-worst 15 victories last season. Thompson was drafted by the Golden State Warriors with the 11th pick in the NBA draft of 2011 out of Washington State. A five-time All-Star and three-time NBA champion, he signed a 5-year, $189.9 million deal before last season when Kevin Durant opted to leave for the Brooklyn Nets in free agency. The 30-year-old owns a career average of 19.5 points in 615 games over his 8 NBA seasons. A formidable shooter, he has a career shooting percentage of 41.9% from three-point range. We tee over to golf news as Tiger Woods will partner with his son Charlie at the PNC Championship next month. Tiger has added an extra event to his 2020 schedule by confirming he will make his tournament debut with his son Charlie in the unique team event from December 19 to 20, where 20 major winners compete alongside a family member in a 2-day 36-hole scramble. Ritz-Carlton Golf Club will host the tournament, formerly known as the PNC Father-Son Challenge, with Justin Thomas, Gary Player, and defending champion Bernard Langer among the other players in action. And those are the stories making sports news tonight. We now head back to the news desk with Tamara Mikhail.
Thank you, Christopher. And now to end tonight's newscast, here are the main points. Jamaica has recorded 69 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 deaths, as reported by the Ministry of Health and Wellness yesterday, November 18, bringing the total number of cases to 10,088 and the total number of COVID-19 related deaths to 235. Governor of Bank of Jamaica Richard Biles, during today's monetary policy press conference, says he anticipates that consumer prices will rise over the next 3 quarters. 5 women charged for brutal attack on 17-year-old Kaylin Dowdy, which occurred along Barbican Road in Kingston on November 9. And Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett expresses that health and wellness will become one of the key cornerstones for destination differentiation in our tourism market. And that's our news package for you tonight. Thank you for tuning into Mello TV Evening News at 8. I am Tamara McHale. Stay safe and pleasant viewing.